sector that was in a state of comatose. This is not an allegation. The NDC handed over a sector in 2017 with 6 thriving telecom operators and 4 local BWAs offering 4G services to their Slowusu-led ministry. I have inherited a sector after 8 years that has 1 SMP, 1 loss-making MNO, and another MNO that has been brought to his knees. 3 of the MNOs no longer exist, and the 4 BWAs are dead. The sector has experienced a sharp decline in growth and investment, and the regulator has been essentially on autopilot. It is therefore shocking to see proponents of the outgone government being the loudest trumpeters of the challenges that they have created. I am told it is a carefully curated art of dark politics called Jandam. It is an attempt to create a false narrative, not based on facts, but built on distortions and aimed at disseminating disinformation. But let me state, that scheme has failed. I have been at post for 4 months and have set to work vigorously in collaboration with the regulator, the CEOs, and other stakeholders to fashion a clear roadmap for the systemic resolution of the challenges we inherited. I'm not interested in cosmetic fixes that merely paper over the deep cracks and create an illusion of resolution, only to push the can further down the road. I have learned from the former Communications Minister and now President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to embrace the challenges I am faced with, diagnose it rightly, and work towards a lasting solution. In my first month as Minister, I established a 23-member Data Pricing Review Committee with a clear 14-day mandate to develop a roadmap for implementation. The committee, in its report, distinguished the 3 areas that we believe need to be addressed for a holistic resolution of the matter: value, pricing, and quality. I referred the report to the regulator and tasked them with crafting that addressed the challenges in the sector. In my second month, the regulator, after engaging with the mobile network operators, came up with proposals that curated specialized bundle solutions for tertiary students and content creators. We immediately set out to build a dynamic database for the 2 demographics. I held a meeting with all vice-chancellors in the country to design a framework that allowed the networks to identify which numbers were used by tertiary students. However, I took a policy decision to truncate the process and re-engage the stakeholders to achieve a broader solution that affected all Ghanaian data users. In my 3rd month, this engagement led to a focus on the structural challenges that the networks were facing in delivering their services. As indicated earlier, we had our eyes not just on the value and pricing of data bundles, but on the quality of service delivery. I am sure that even with increased value or reduced pricing, if quality is not improved, we will still have a sour customer experience. This led to the regulator commissioning and completing an assessment of a sample size of network performance in 3G and 4G service offerings across the country, the results of which I discussed with the CEOs and the media 2 weeks ago. In my 4th month, armed with a clear picture of where we are as a sector, I tasked the CEOs to work with me to improve the quality of service and to offer enhanced data bundles. Now let me be clear. My mandate as minister in a free market economy does not extend to interfering in the pricing by private sector investors. Just like the Minister for Trade does not have the power to direct GUTA members to drop their prices unilaterally, the Communications Minister cannot unilaterally direct price reductions. The immediate retort will be, and I am expecting it, but you accused your predecessor of being responsible for price increases. Yes, I did. The SMP toolkit is replete with several policy directions that are not direct price directives, but cumulatively have an effect on pricing. So a decision, for example, that was taken by my predecessor to have CST collected forward would, for example, result in a pricing increase. So it was not a price directive, it was a policy directive that affects pricing. Another example will be the decision to declare MTN as an SMP and implement tariff rationalization, which resulted in an effective price increase by the operator, which the customers bore. However, these actions were not adequately and properly implemented, and they led to a situation where the SMP has grown by over 10% in market share, accompanied by quality of service issues due to the network configuration and congestion. To address the quality of service issues, I presented a memorandum to the Cabinet of Ghana aimed at making spectrum available to Mrs. Scancom Ghana Limited and Ghana Telecommunication Company Limited. The process of the spectrum sale is scheduled to be completed by the end of the first week in July. In the case of Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited, known as Telecel, I have given additional policy approval for the regulator to grant a connecting entity license, enabling the operator to optimize service using the 2100 MHz spectrum at the disposal of NGIC. This should result in a significant improvement in the quality of service and customer experience in the coming weeks. I want to reiterate my commitment to an engagement-led style of leadership that involves all my stakeholders, listens to their challenges, and works to address them in a manner that benefits the entire ecosystem. We need intense competition in the sector, but it must be healthy and sustainable. I am committed to value-added data bundle offerings, and most importantly, these policy actions will culminate in price reductions in the medium to long term. However, the recovery from 8 years of mismanagement cannot be completed in 4 months. To this end, I have mandated that all operators make critical investments in their networks to improve quality over the next quarter, that is from July to September. The regulator will commence a rigorous quality of service assessment in the final quarter of the year, October to December. Reverend Franco, rigorous quality of service assessment. Defaulting operators will be sanctioned. I would also, at this point, commend the CEOs of the 3 telcos for their pledged commitment to collectively invest approximately $150 million in their networks between now and the end of the year to enhance quality of service, either by acquisition of spectrum or introduction or acquisition of new transmitters and equipment. At this juncture, I am pleased to announce that my engagement with the CEOs have resulted in the following specific measures, which are to take effect from Tuesday, 1st of July, 2025. Airtel Tigo Ghana, AT Ghana. A 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Additionally, the 400 Ghana CD bundle, which currently offers 195 gigabytes of data, will now offer 236 gigabytes of data. Ghana Telecommunications